Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Berdel Warrior here. We go higher mindset marketing. Hope you guys are having a super awesome Monday. And so, if you look at my topic today, is the 10 tips or rules of self discipline. Okay, that's better here. Is self discipline. Hey, Aubrey. Hope you're having a super day, my friend. So, if let's go talk about the first tip. The tip would be number one is keep cool when somebody is getting hot. You know, sometimes you'll be talking to someone, a friend or a colleague, and they're getting upset, and you see the temperatures rising. Or even in our relationship, we get that, right? So when you see that's happening, it's best for you to be quiet, right? Quiet, and then just let them go off or whatever they're doing, right? So you need to stay calm when somebody else is getting upset. Okay. Then number two is there is three sides to an argument. There's three sides to an argument. There is your side, there is the other person's side, and there is the right side, maybe in between the both of you. Okay, so there's three sides to a argument. Then number three, never give direction to a person that you're working with, when you're angry. Okay, so sometimes you have you're a leader and you're giving a subordinate a question, maybe one of your friends that you're working with, you're giving them, how would you say you're giving them, you're giving them directions. You want them to do certain steps, right? But then at the time you are very upset about whatever it is. So at that time you need to, not to be angry when you're giving somebody's directions. Hey Val, hope you're having a super day. So when you're giving somebody a direction, do not be upset. Okay, if you find yourself upset while you're giving them the direction, calm yourself down and then just wait until you calm down, and then you give them the directions. Okay. Then number four, treat all people like they are a rich relative. Like, for instance, if they die, they're going to leave you an inheritance. So treat each person as if they were one of your rich relatives. I thought that was very interesting, thinking about that one, treating somebody as if you are in their will. Okay, they're going to leave you $1 million. Okay, so treat them with respect. Then number five, look for a seed or a benefit in whatever the person's saying. Like I said, the person could be very upset, but find a seed, something that will be beneficial to you within that circumstances. I hope that makes sense. Then number six would be to ask questions. Sometimes we're talking to people and we think we got what they're saying, but in actuality, we thinking another way, So then it's best to them to ask them the right question, to ask them for clarity, okay? And then also make sure that, here's another thing, make sure that the answer is right, the question is right. So then here's another question you might ask them. How do you know? Sometimes we want people to, when we asking and want an answer, we want to make sure that person is sure of their answer. So you just might want to just ask them, how do you know? Okay, that's another way. Hey, Ed. Hey, Felicia. So you might want to just ask them, how do they know? Sometimes we want evidence to see why that person is telling us whatever it is that they're telling us. So that would be a good way. And then number seven, never say or do anything that will influence another person without asking the right questions. Okay? So, for instance, will this benefit you or will it hurt the other person? Okay? So never do or say anything that's going to hurt someone else. I think for me, as I was reading or studying Napoleon Hill, this is a video that I was watching today. It talks about, number seven, talks about, how sometimes we we saying something to someone and we hurting the other person, right? We say something hurtful, not realizing that whatever we say, we're going to get back. Whatever we do, sometimes we talk about getting even. A lot of the movies out there, it's like, okay, the superhero trying to get even with someone that did them wrong. So with this one here, we are saying that don't do that. Don't get even. Okay, even though that person might be wrong or they might not, you might did you something really bad, do not get even, because here is the thing. Whatever you give to someone, you're going to get back. And here it is, you're going to get it back 10 times. Okay, sometimes it might not happen that moment, but what if it happened maybe 10 months later? But here's it is. The longer it takes for it to happen back to you, you might even get that 100 times worse. Okay, so think about that for a minute. So be careful of what you say. Do not try to get even with people, because whatever you give, you're going to get back. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so that was number 7. And then number 8, friends, you analyze when someone says something to you. It's either going to be friendly, friendly criticism, or it might be something that's unfriendly. So be careful or be mindful of the person that you're getting your advice from. Okay, and then that's how you can check it out. You can check out your relationship with that person. You probably receive it better, or also the tone of their voice that the person is giving you instruction. The tone of the voice, you can say whether or not they're in your corner or they're not. Okay, that would be number 8. And then number 9, good leaders can take orders. Okay, check it out. So good leaders give orders, and good leaders receive orders cheerfully. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Then number 10, tolerance in human relations is just as important as tolerance in operating mechanics. And so I went ahead and looked to see what he was referring to when he talked about operating mechanics. So operating mechanics is the key process to help your group. You're trying to make people come together. We're planning, we're taking effective actions for changing in our lives, right? So we want to make sure that we are coming together as a group, as a team, and our focus is on the same goal. I hope that makes sense. So that would be number 10. So those would be your 10 steps. Okay, so let me leave you with this. Psalms 133 verses 1. It says, how good and pleasant it is when God's people live together in unity. Isn't that awesome? Boy. And then if you look at 1 Peter 3:8, it also talks about, it says, finally, all of us being like-minded, being sympathetic, okay, love one another, be compassionate, and be humble. As a leader, we want to be humble. As a leader in our home, we want to be humble. As a leader in the neighborhood, we want to be humble. As a leader in our community, we want to be humble. Isn't that something? Humble. A lot of people thinking that being humble is a weakness. Being humble is very powerful. A person that somebody's going off at you and you very quiet, that's being very humble. That's a very it's a very patient characteristic that we need to develop as leaders in our home, in our businesses, wherever we go. Okay, if you mind me, sometimes we find ourselves maybe going off, but then we need to just calm ourselves down and come back to our center of our being, okay? And that should be love, coming from a place of love. So ladies and gentlemen, this is Berdel Warrior with Go Higher Mindset Marketing. And thank you guys for stopping by. Thank you, Christopher. Thank you, Ed. Thank you, Val. Thank you, Aubrey. Thank you guys for stopping by. I appreciate it. So if this was of value to you, please like, comment, and share. I know someone is probably need to hear this today, so if you guys don't mind, can you just comment, like, and share? Until tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys having a super awesome day. Until tomorrow, talk to you guys soon.